Good afternoon. This is Thad Reed. Today's the Power Hour. I'm an instructor here at VectorVest. We're going to go over some stocks here today. Thank you for being here. Before we do, we're going to get started right here on the homepage. Essentially, the homepage is like reading the front page of a newspaper. The featured story is the color guard. Okay? A lot of wonderful changes going on today in the market. Anyone see what I see here? Obviously, great to see 3 ticks in the green. VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. Now, as you all know, it's Friday at 2 o'clock. It's obviously something we are excited about. We're going to create a great watch list. We're going to look for follow through on Monday. Okay? We are 3 ticks in the green. We are in a confirmed up right here. Excellent. Yesterday, we had a primary wave, so right out of the gate, 3 ticks in the green and a very strong buy to sell ratio. Just as a quick review, here at VectorVest, we analyzed 9,808 stocks. Currently, of those stocks, 2,194 are a buy rating. We have Midas Touch stocks on the page. We have the top RT industries on the page and RT sectors. Okay. Really quickly before we leave the homepage, the mini graph for MTI is going higher, which certainly is very helpful. The underlying trend of the market is favorable. Take a look at the Dow up here. Very good, strong day on the Dow. The NASDAQ is up 1.29%. The S&P 500 is 0.95, and the S&P 100 is up 1%. The VectorVest Composite, as we can see, is up as well. Okay, let's get into the program. We're going to go to the Viewers tab next at the top of the screen. You'll see that I'm on the Viewers. I'm going to left click on that. I have created on the left-hand column the Power Hour. That's the name of the folder. I have created this. Okay, so today, 1024, we're going to start adding stocks at this time. So please put the symbols in. Brett, thanks for being here. Dave, thanks for being here. Tim, thanks for being here. Richard, thanks for being here. Lee, I'm glad you're here, Lee. We're going to get a lot accomplished today. So let's add to this list. I'm going to start with NUAI. Lyft, IBIT, GLW, ACH, WDOF, All right, let's get started right here. We'll add more later. Thank you for putting those in. Before we get started, let's review what these columns represent and the importance of the columns here. At VectorVest, we want you to invest with confidence in consistency. This is a system. These mathematical indicators were made very simple by Dr. DeLito. These are mathematical calculations. Okay? Anything above 1 is favorable. Anything below 1 is unfavorable. Okay? So the first thing we're going to see here is company. We're going to see the trading symbol. We're going to look at percent PRC. Man, there are some very good percent PRC numbers here. Up 43% on New Era Energy. That's absolutely great. Now, this is comparing the current price in real time relative to the 4 o'clock close. So you got a couple 40 plus here. This is an excellent list. Now, value. VectorVest puts a value on every stock in the database. Dr. DeLito believed when you were buying stocks, you should know what they're currently worth. Now, it's hard to imagine buying a stock, frankly, and not knowing if the stock is overvalued or undervalued. Okay, so this is the first place we're going to get started here is the value. Again, what does VectorVest believe the stock is currently worth? And of course, we're going to compare that to price. Okay, we'll also look at this on a graph as well. It might be visually a little bit easier to see clearly. The first stock is, type it in the room, overvalued, correct? Okay, the value on this stock is 205. The price is 299. Okay, now RV is a AAA corporate bond, and we're comparing a stock's potential to outpace a AAA corporate bond. I'd like to make this very simple and call it upside potential. If I'm a coach and I'm putting players on the field, I want you to have upside potential. Okay, I think that's very important. Okay, what is RS? RS is consistency and predictability of a company's financial performance. This is a very powerful indicator. If RV and RS are above 1, that is a prudent stock. What we would expect to see on a graph is a smooth, consistent, upward trending stock graph. You should become so familiar with the stocks in your watch list and these indicators that the graph will speak for itself. Okay? RT is the short-term price trend of a stock. I've never seen anything like this on Wall Street, frankly. Once you understand RT and you sort your watch list by RT, it's essentially telling you what players to put on the field. Okay? So if you have RV above 1, RS above 1, and RT above 1, that's essentially where you want to get started using VectorVest. Okay? Now, our master indicator, VST. I love VST. No other company on Wall Street has an indicator that covers both fundamental and technical analysis. Okay? Just as a review, RV and RS are fundamental indicators. RT is a technical indicator. Mathematically, when we put them together, we get VST. Anything above 1 is a favorable VST rating. CI, the comfort index. This is a stock's ability to resist severe and or lengthy price declines. I love VST, but boy, when you add CI to that and you got a number well above 1, invariably when you're looking at graphs, you're going to see a smoother, more consistent upward trending graph. Okay. Finally, every stock every day at VectorVest gets a buy, hold, and sell recommendation. Okay, I covered this stuff in great detail last week. It's important to understand what these indicators mean. If you do, you will have confidence and consistency, and your win rate will go much higher. Okay, now we are going to essentially look at these on a stock graph. Before I do, let me just add a couple others on here really quickly. All right. So just as a reminder, our master indicator VST is currently how these stocks are ranked. Okay. So the best VST score will come to the top of the page. Okay. Sometimes this is called sorting or force ranking. Dr. DeLito would call this. If I sort by VST, by RV, the stocks with the best upside potential appear at the top of the screen. If I sort by RS, okay, the stocks with the best consistency and predictability of financial performance appear at the top of the screen. I always love to sort my watch list by RT, however. Okay, again, what's the best players on the field? The players with the highest RT score. All right, let's graph all these. I'm going to go up here to graph all. All right, so here today, we're going to use the VectorVest simple graph. We're going to look at graphs on a 1-year chart. Okay. Data Vault. The buy, hold, sell recommendation bar at the top of the graph is extremely important for me. Okay. if I see a stock that has a considerable sell period like I see here, it speaks to a cautionary tale. Frankly, it's a downward trending investment. Okay. Now, we recently have a buy hold pattern happening on the buy to sell recommendation bar. It's just inconsistent. Okay. Now, this is a low price stock. So frankly, this is what we might expect to see on a low price stock. Again, right here, the stock is currently $3.28. Again, that's real-time data for people that don't have real-time data. On the graph, we have what's called the stop line. The stop line is an important guide, an important metric here at VectorVest. If the stock goes below this number, 1.52, it will automatically be rated a sell. Okay? Let's talk about value. VectorVest believes this stock is currently worth $1. Okay? The stock is currently $3.27. So the stock is overvalued. RT, mostly below 1 by basic definition, right here, is downward trending. Note when RT goes above 1 and the stock crosses over the stop line, the stock literally goes from a sell to a buy, then we have a nice entry point. The small problem that I have here, however, is earnings per share. Okay? Earnings per share is 0.77. That's a negative number, by the way. So when we're looking at the graph, I'm a little bit concerned. Okay? VectorVest advocates buying upward trending stocks in upward trending markets. You really have to look at earnings per share. It speaks to a dramatic risk. This company is simply losing money. They are improving, by the way, but they're still losing money. So this speaks to caution. Okay. I would rate this stock invariably because of the price and some of the stuff I'm looking at with the buy, hold, sell recommendation. I would call this to be a speculative stock. Okay. All right. Let's go over here to the next graph, if you will. Celestica. This is very interesting in terms of the buy, hold, sell recommendation bar at the top of the graph. It really has predominantly been a buy rating for the last year. There was a period where the stock was rated as sell, and the stock went down, obviously. We could see that. And the buy is really an elongated buy. Right here, a new buy rated stock. I love a stock when it becomes a new buy rating. That's a very important indicator here at VectorVest. In fact, we have a search called new buy rated stocks. You know, you're looking at roughly $100 to $300 here from, May 8th. That's an excellent run. So we could call this the tale of two stories here. Obviously, the stock struggled here. It recovered nicely. There's a couple glaring things here that are very interesting. Okay, the RT is predominantly above 1. You can see when it goes below 1 here and rises, it's just really struggling here, lower lows, and then we come into this area here, hit the low point right there on the graph, and then the graph starts to shoot up. Right here it goes above 1. Okay, that is an excellent story right there. On the backdrop, it's so hard not to want to run to earnings per share here because the earnings per share in this stock are absolutely fantastic. $4.76. It really makes me want to own this stock. So this is a stock I would have in my watch list. It's a strong update today at $2.99. So things look good. However, let's talk about some of the cautionary tales. Value on this stock is $205.06. So this stock is, well, overvalued or undervalued. It's overvalued. The stop line. The stop line is the final line in the sand at VectorVest. Just as a reminder, when you're buying stocks at VectorVest, we advocate putting some form of a stop criteria on that stock the day you buy it. The stop line is the final line in the sand. The price to sell this is $244.84. RT, very powerful and really going sideways. Someone was concerned last week in the Power Hour, can RT have a sustained, Helen, if you're here, I'm talking about you, can RT have a sustained high level? And certainly this stock says, yes, it can. And right now RT is currently at 1.84. Earnings per share, 6.64. Beautiful. A great RS. Now, GRT. GRT is forecasted earnings 1 to 3 out, expressed as a percentage. That is a tremendous number at 31. So keep this in mind. This is an excellent story here. Let's go to the next stock. So we have a stock here with, it says right here, it doesn't have a year's worth of data. The data came into this on 9/24. This stock has gone from $1 to $5.57 on the graph. The stop line is rising. Everything's rising. We're looking at a stock that has, during this short time, been a hold or a sell. The value of this stock is 20 cents, so a significantly overvalued stock. This is an oil stock, as you can see right here in the middle of the page. Okay, so oil has really had a great week. RT, as you can see, like a yo-yo, it's coming down, it shoots up, it comes down, shoots up, coming down. You could make an argument as a speculative investor if RT went from below 1 to above 1 for an aggressive stock like this. That was a great entry. Okay, RT, very important indicator. If you understand RT, it's going to help you make excellent entry and exit points as well. Okay, if you look at RT right here at 1.85, it's very cautionary up there. We'll elongate this momentarily so we'll get a better reading on a stock that has a little bit more information. Right out of the gate, this stock, earnings per share is 1.38 negative. RS, it does not have consistency or predictability of financial performance. GRT, below 1. So the forecasted earnings is a negative number. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's a speculative stock. The buy, hold, sell recommendation bar on this looks absolutely beautiful. Let's kind of dwell on the buy, hold, sell recommendation bar. The setup from sell, hold to buy is absolutely awesome here. Sell, the stock reaches a low point, as we could expect, at 39.61. The stock goes to a hold, and then when it becomes a new buy and RT rises above 1, that shows us, using the VectorVest system, an excellent entry point. So the buy, hold, sell recommendation bar is very powerful. And notice it's a really long buy period, and the stock has really risen in a strong way from left to right. That's what we want to see at VectorVest. The stop line is rising as well. A cautionary tale, when you see a gap between the stop line and a high RT, and you start to see stock price, invariably it may revert back to the means. That doesn't necessarily mean panic, but it's certainly, we would expect a natural sell-off, if you will. Okay, and you could see that a little bit right here. We'll see more pronounced, probably variations of that in other graphs. Okay, RT constantly above 1 by basic definition means we're buying an upward trending stock. Earnings per share, very strong from left to right. It's 2.48. That's a great number. RS is above 1, and the forecasted earnings is 18. Okay, let's go to the next one as well. Rick, you are right on that. Thank you for adding that in. I'm just trying to make it simple. RT also does factor in quarter over quarter and year over year information as well. Remember, these mathematical calculations Dr. DeLito created, he's a doctor of engineering. They're very complicated, but he made it incredibly simple on the 0 to 2 scale. I want to focus in this room for right now. Above 1 is upward trending. Okay. Now, we'll talk momentarily about the full stock analysis report, where you can get additional information, and invariably all the terms and definitions will be on the stock analysis report. And we'll talk about that after we look at the graphs here. Okay. Truth. CI is a technical indicator. Thank you for asking. Sherilyn, you're absolutely correct. There is no guarantee the stock will rise. VectorVest will focus on high VST stocks. I'm going to get to that later in the presentation, show you where you can find some great stocks. we do obviously advocate buying rising stocks in rising markets, which will certainly be Midas Touch stocks or VST stocks. We showed you on the homepage the Midas Touch stocks. Essentially, all those stocks are at 3-month highs and all their various indicators. Okay. Rox, you're absolutely right. Let's go to add parameter. Here at VectorVest, graphs are completely customizable. If you go to add parameters here really quickly, we could go to capital appreciation. We could add the comfort index right here. Okay, again, that's an excellent number on CI. We could go to add parameter, go to technical analysis, and add any one of these. Okay, a lot of people like support resistance. I am a huge MACD person. Okay, today the power hour is really predicated on creating an excellent watch list of stocks, because remember, it's a Friday at 2 o'clock. We want to see follow through in the market Monday, and then we're going to look at this watch list of stocks that we created and pick the best candidates. We'll know the best candidates when we sort by RT. Okay. All right. Thanks for really all the wonderful stuff in the chat. I really appreciate the participation here. Rox, yes. If a stock is exhibiting RT that goes from below 1 to above 1, depending on your underlying investment methodology, that could be an excellent entry point, as long as the other indicators support that. Like, I'm going to look at MACD, I'm going to look at some other indicators as well. Okay, but in and of itself, if this was the only page at VectorVest and I knew that RT was going above 1 and the stock went from a hold to a buy, I would feel very comfortable buying stocks with the VectorVest program. Very comfortable. Okay, so yeah, appreciate that. Listen, I'm a big MACD person. Okay, and again, just don't want to get too complicated here. Here at VectorVest, we have all kinds of various graph layouts that you can load based upon your investment metrics. Okay, Star Search is going to be great for day or swing trading. There's a lot of NPI, very popular. Okay, and you can play with that on your own. And certainly, if you need any help, please call product support. We can not only customize graphs here at VectorVest, we'll help you understand what each one of these graphs basically means. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Rox. Wait for confirmation. Okay, so let's go to the next graph here. Wow, what a big day. What a big day in the building space. Look at RT powering off 1. Rox, to prove your point, RT touches 1, shoots up like a rocket. The price dynamically goes higher. But again, the backdrop is on great earnings per share. Okay, great earnings per share. So, here at VectorVest, we're always going to advocate stocks for the rising earnings per share. Okay, rising stock price, rising RT. I like to make it very simple, because I frankly think, if you look at the buy, hold, sell recommendation and a stock goes from a sell, hold to a buy, I've been doing this for roughly 14 years and as a instructor at VectorVest, I've never seen an instance where I've lost money on that setup. Just in the buy, hold, sell recommendation. Yes, factor in other components with it as well. Okay? Confirmation, if you will. Okay? Janice, we do live presentations here at VectorVest. You're in the community room all the time. Every day. The power hour is every Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay. I think it's very important with what we saw on the homepage at 3:55 today. We'll do the color guard report and essentially tell you what happened in the market today, how it affected the market timing principles of VectorVest. And therefore, that allows you to make sure, listen, you always have to have a great watch list of candidates to put on the field. Those are your players. If the market has follow through on Monday, you should feel comfortable you've done your homework today and you're prepared to buy stocks on Monday if there's follow through. Okay, so we do the 355 color guard in the community room where you really already are. So that makes it very simple. Okay. Hopefully, we'll get to, a couple more stocks that are really just a buy rating the whole entire year. Wouldn't that be great? That would be a high, what if a stock was rated a buy all year long? Okay, remember what I said. RV above 1, big number. RS, big number above 1. RT, always above 1 for the whole year. And finally, CI would probably be like 1.8 or 1.5. Those are the evaluating metrics of what a great left to right ruler stock would be like. My old friend Jimmy loved those stocks. Okay. The VectorVest support number is 888-658-7638. Since I just gave you that phone number, please tell your friends, your family. Let me show you how to make money on the market. We're trying to grow VectorVest. We want new clients. If you want them to work with me, call me. I'll be on the phone at VectorVest Monday through Friday. My extension's 217. Give me a call anytime. Okay? All right. So I think everybody's starting to notice, I hope anyway, that this period of time is consistently a period of sell on every graph. The question is duration of the sell. Okay? So I'm okay with a sell, hold to buy here. That's excellent. It crosses above. The RT goes above 1. Great earnings. Earnings rising dramatically. Everything looks good here. Okay? I'm going to answer a question here for you, Richard, a little bit on the extended scenario. And I'm going to use the stop line. I said this earlier. When the stock pulls away just a little bit too high, it's going to revert back to the mean. Okay? RT is going to be going lower. And then what happens? It starts to pull away and RT will start to push higher. Invariably, the stock will go from a kind of this hold buy story to a solid buy. Okay? So one of the things I will certainly caution anybody, if you feel like the stock is extended, you always have the opportunity as an investor to take an action plan. Don't stress out. Okay, what's an action plan? When are you going to sell? Okay, that's an action plan. And you should know that before you buy a stock. If I feel like a stock is overextended and being greedy, that's a natural phenomenon. Okay, that's very bad. That means you're not following your system, by the way. You should know when you're going to sell. That should not be a mystery. Okay? Now, let's say the stock was overextended, as you suggested. Okay, well, if you have a trailing stop, you can always tighten your trailing stop. You could sell part of your position. Okay, so you have options there, but what you shouldn't have is emotion. Okay, because remember, greed is an emotion. VectorVest wants you to be what? Confident. They want you to be consistent. That's where I need you to be. If you're asking yourself when I should sell, to me, that's weakness. You should know what that answer is. Okay. There's a lot of sell on this stock, which is obviously inconsistency of performance. I don't like that. I would take a pass on this stock. I like smooth, consistent, upward trending stocks and upward trending markets. This fails to meet that test. If you were swing trading it, RT, kissing 1 and rising above 1, the sell, hold to buy will certainly help you there. The interesting thing is the earnings per share on this are absolutely fantastic. They are making money. The stock, let's get back to value, some of the basics. This stock is undervalued. This is one of the first stocks we've analyzed today that's actually undervalued. Okay. So keep that in mind. This is actually an undervalued stock. The stop on this is 1847. Not bad. Okay. RT 1.46. So it's in a strong upward trend. Now, take a note when RT reaches this high point, just to kind of reiterate where you're at. RT goes down and down and down and reaches this bottom number at 0.72. Remember, below 1 is downward trending. That stock was downward trending. But as RT was, well, going lower and lower and lower, what happened to stock price here? That also went lower. RT is one of the most powerful indicators on Wall Street. I don't know how you could live in a world without RT if you're on Wall Street. Okay, so this is a stock that I think I would just take a pass on from the argument. I think there's just better stocks. Okay, let's go to the next one here. I've always loved Marriott. Again, this buy, hold, sell recommendation really in the same spot. It's hard not to call this a sideways moving stock. If you agree with me, let me know in the chats here. This is absolutely a sideways moving stock. I just don't see how I can make money here. Actually, there's just not a lot to the trade for me. What you don't want to see, this H represents on a 1-year graph the high period. You really want to see that in the far right-hand part of the graph, not on the left-hand side. So this stock has failed to meet a new high since February 6th of 2025. So it's just not a space that we're making money. To me, there's only two things on Wall Street that you're going to accomplish. You're going to make money or you're going to lose money. Losing money is not just the stock price going down. Certainly that's losing money, right? Also, a stock that's going sideways is losing money as well, because you've given up the opportunity cost to invest in something more productive. This could have been a much better investment during this period of time. You have to discriminate as an investor and find those better opportunities. Okay? Remember, when it comes to, we should probably mention this, I am a big ETF investor for full disclosure purposes. You're not going to see the VectorVest proprietary indicators on these. You're going to see RT only. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So this is a iShares Bitcoin ETF, currency other. I just don't see where I'm making enough money to put money at risk here. To me, this looks slightly higher from left to right. It's just too inconsistent here. There is a period of time where it's a sell. There's periods of time when it's a buy and a hold. To me, RT kind of reaches a peak here at 1.72. Now it's below 1. Okay. I do not advocate buying stocks when RT is below 1. VectorVest does not advocate buying downward trending stocks. By basic definition, this is below 1, so therefore it's downward trending. Okay. Any questions on ETFs? Okay. No. Okay. Good. All right. So this is a big news story today. This is a stock I put in here. I put a couple of stocks in here to really reinforce what we don't want to do. Sometimes the best lessons are lessons of what not to do. I think the predominant color on the buy, hold, sell recommendation bar is red. Okay. Now let's review something really important. Red on the VectorVest software, very bad. Whether it's on the home page or a stock analysis report or here on this bar. Red is bad. That's losing. That's a bad story. The hold, again, on the home page, stock analysis report, the yellow here is a transition color. So you're transitioning from a hold to a buy. Buy is green. That's a great color. So the program is, in fact, color coordinated. But what we do know about Deckers, it's a shoe company that, frankly, is a difficult space to make money. This is a downward trending investment. RT has spent a significant period of time below 1 and really very low below 1 right here. Earnings, it looks strong. They just reported. Obviously, things didn't go great. The value on this stock is 156, however. Wow, that's a great number. 156. This is a undervalued stock. Currently, again, rated a sell right here. The stop line is 95.08. We've obviously crossed that. Therefore, the stock is rated a sell. RT 0.55, below 1, downward trending. Great earnings, that's not the problem. RS is excellent at 1.3. GRT 18, that's not a bad number. CI, however, does tell us that this stock has what? Well, it's not price stable. Okay, so this is good information to have right here of what not to do. Again, VectorVest does not advocate buying downward trending stocks. So this is GNPX. I put this stock in here as an example of really just if you're weeding in the garden of what a bad stock looks like. This is an example. Again, I put this in here. Notice the predominant color in the buy, hold, sell recommendation bar is a sell. That's not good, right? The stock has that high point back on 10/28 of 2024. Believe it or not, wow, $137. And what's the stock price right now? $8. So this price in here is constantly below the stop line, obviously, as you can see over here. Okay, the crossover happens there. The stock's automatically rated to sell. RT, again, predominantly below 1. And earnings per share, wow. Earnings per share, negative $50 per share. This is what a bad CI stock looks like, 0.15. Okay. This is just a difficult stock. If I actually did have this in the watch list, I would immediately remove this. Okay. So that's the last stock here in the list. So let's go back. I'm going to close these graphs down or minimize them for right now. I want to go back to the original screen here for a moment. We could add some more stocks if you guys want to put some more stocks in the room. I'm going to go to the home page one more time just to see where we're at. Again, a lot of green on the page. Green is good. Notice the transition of the color guard. We're in a confirmed up. Again, these do not become official market timing signals till 4 o'clock. A strong underlying trend in the market at 1.20 with MTI. That buy to sell ratio is 1.49. RT, everything's green. Very pretty. This is fantastic. This is a great way to end the week. Now, as you can see, this week had some red in there. Has some transition colors in there. But it appears like we're transitioning to a more favorable market condition. Just to recap what we said earlier, we're going to want to make sure this followed through on Monday. Green is good. We're seeing a lot of green here. We're going to go back to the viewers tab. Now, for the new people in the room, and I certainly did this as a new employee, okay, you're going to right-click on a stock. Right-clicking is an important function here at VectorVest. We're going to go look at a full stock analysis report. Again, this is color coordinated. Let me just pull this over on this main screen. It's going to tell you what the business does. It's going to show you the stock graph. Oh man, I think this is so important. The industry, we show you the top industry right on the homepage. That's an excellent industry 3-month graph. The stock is performing very well. Again, it's a buy rating. Value, this was the one negative, right? We talked about this. We've already looked at these stocks. This stock is overvalued, therefore the color is red. Here's RV. So here is essentially a cheat sheet. It's color coordinated. I used to say, if I see red anywhere on the stock analysis report, I'm automatically out. Okay, here's the definition of GRT, earnings yield, PE. So it's all right here, and I would strongly encourage you to print these out. Wouldn't be the worst idea if you said, Thad, I'm going to print one of these out on every one of the stocks I want to buy in my watch list. I think that's a great idea. Okay, all right. That's the stock analysis report. It's color coordinated. It tells you the terms and definitions at VectorVest, everything you need to know. You should be very, very comfortable with underlying information presented to you on the stock analysis report. And there it is right there. Look at that. Stock graph, great. Industry, great. All right, let's get out of this. All right. So I'm going to go down here really quickly. And I'm going to sort by RT. This is essentially what I want you to do on Monday. If I left click on this again, it's going to bring the best candidates to the top of the page. These are the players I'm interested in. They've got the biggest RT numbers. These are the ones going higher in price. If I sort on RT again, I'm going to get the worst candidates. I put the 2 worst candidates on the page. So I'm going to hold the control button down. I'm going to weed this garden and just remove a couple of these stocks. This is what I would expect anybody to do. Weed the garden, left click on delete, take those out. Don't even worry about it. Just get rid of them. So I'm going to do that again. This time I'm going to get rid of every stock that we analyzed. Why? Because we're going to add more stocks to the power hour. Okay, so let me start adding them right now. Give me just one moment, please. What I'm doing is holding the control button down. I'm left clicking on each stock, highlighting them. If I right click on one of the highlighted stocks, I can either go to stock graphs. In this case, I'm going to left click on delete item. Perfect. We're starting with a fresh list. All right. I'm going to left click up here. You'll see my cursor blinking. Let's start adding some more investments here. We'll do as many as we can before 2. You know the rules. At 2 o'clock, we're out of here. We'll do as many as we can right up to 2 o'clock. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate you folks putting these in. Thanks, William. Thanks, Marvin. I'm not counting, by the way, guys. So if you are, thank you. I have no idea how many stocks I just entered. So let's hit enter. We're going to pull these up. Okay. Now, again, if you sort by these various indicators, force ranking and VectorVest is very powerful. If I'm day or swing trading, frankly, I'm going to sort by percent PRC, just to be honest with you. All right. These are my best candidates in this list for day and swing trading. Now, that doesn't mean you don't look at, value, RV, RS, and RT, and VST, and CI, right? But those are the best candidates at the top of the page. Our default indicator is VST, okay? So we're going to start out by looking at VST stocks at the top of the page, and then I'm going to show you where really you can find excellent candidates. Last week when I did this where to find good stock story, every single stock we looked at, we doubled our money in a year without making a trade. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that momentarily. We're going to go up here. I'm going to left click on graph all. Excellent. All right, so the buy, hold, sell recommendation bar. Again, I love to buy a stock when it goes from a sell, hold to a buy with RT rising above 1. Would I have made money on this stock? It would have been challenging, but absolutely could have. The best trade being over here. Okay, sell, hold to buy. RT is like a yo-yo. It is going to go up and down. It's reacting to the story. When RT obviously is below 1, it's downward trending. And during this period of time of downward trending, The stock price became a sell, so the price obviously went below the stop line. But earnings per share, they are pushing higher. Let's get into it. Value, $35.50. Overvalued. When to sell. Again, have your stops in place before you get here. But the final line in the sand is 64.13. RT is really strong right now at 1.6. Is RT at the highest point it's been at? No, it isn't. Earnings per share, it's just $1.04, but it is positive earnings. RS 1.34. Forecasted earnings, beautiful at 44. That's a great number. That would be in the green on the stock analysis report. And then we have CI at 1.5. I just think there's easier places to make money than this investment. Okay. All right. Boy, what a great story here. An elongated hold, sideways move. You get the sell in there. It just gets absolutely hammered, goes below $100. You doubled your money on this stock since May. I love it. Sell, hold to buy. The stock crosses over the stop line. RT goes to the low point. It starts to gather momentum and strength, crosses above 1. There we go. And there it is. There's your buy recommendation right there. Picking the stock up, on a conservative level at 120 would have been a great pickup. And earnings per share during this period of time have been dramatically rising to 6. The value is 142, overvalued stock. The stop line is 171.62. It's fairly consistent there. RT is a big number at 1.78. RS is 1.27. That's a great number. GRT forecasted earnings is at 20. That's an excellent number. And CI 1.46. Clearly hard. How do you lose money here? It's very, very hard. Now, right here, there was a little bit of a test right there, and RT turns right back up. Cautionary tale, I don't like where this RT kind of is showing a little weakness here. I mean, it did kind of peak out over here, and that's a low point right there, but here's the bottom line. Earnings per share. What drives stock prices higher? Earnings per share. Write it down. This stock has that. Rising earnings per share, stock price will follow. That's why we study earnings per share. Clearly, we have that here. Okay? This stock is at a year high. Excellent. I like the space that this stock is in. Everybody should have noticed at this point, pretty much every stock is ready to sell in this period, right? I mean, it is what it is. And then RT crosses above. The stock goes from a sell hold to a buy right there. It's 412. There it is. On increasing earnings per share. The value of the stock is 660. Again, overvalued. Look at the stop price on this, 386.96. Oh boy, that's a big number there. RT is above 1.26, RS 1.36, GRT's 26. That's a great number. CI 0.93. So you can expect volatility here. Make sure you have your trailing stop in place, or whatever your stop criteria is. But monster earnings per share. Monster earnings per share, $26.30. Okay? And by the way, you pretty much double your money here in 6 months. Okay, so that's an excellent story. I also want to point something out to you I think is very nice. If we're advocating buying upward trending stocks here at VectorVest, take a note, this stock right here, look at that strong day. That's excellent. I love that. I'm sure it's a news-driven story. All right, so here's an ETF. Korea, fantastic. I personally love following foreign country ETFs. I follow China, I follow Vietnam, I follow Brazil, so on and so forth. And you can do that through ETFs. So here's a South Korean ETF play. I absolutely love the concept of South Korea as an investment, by the way. 37 to 154. I mean, frankly, my dreams aren't normally this good. Just so you know, in 6 months, my dreams aren't this good. Okay? Now, of course, I don't speak Korean. Never been to South Korea. going into an ETF and having diversification and professional money management to make sure that they're buying the right stocks in that space, this is the way to go. Okay. It's an excellent buy recommendation. There was a little bit of a pause right here. When the stock is a hold, you can expect it to push sideways. This is one I would add to my watch list, absolutely without reservation. Again, it's an ETF. You're not really going to get a lot of indicators in here. Just like any other investment, though, make sure you know when you're going to sell. I would absolutely add this to my watch list. It's hard to look at this graph and be disappointed if you bought this anywhere around 50, you double your money. Everybody knows gold and silver has been an absolutely fantastic space to be in. Okay. Notice the elongated buy. I absolutely love it. This is what I want to see when I buy a stock. Smooth, consistent, upward trending. But frankly, we're in a rough patch. RT is letting us know that. Okay. RT is letting us know that. It's going lower. So it would be hard to advocate buying this stock because it's currently downward trending, as evidenced by RT, but RT is still a strong 1.41. I'd be looking for RT to make a turnaround here. Okay. Look at the earnings per share. I mean, just aggressive. They're on fire. Let's get into the parameter field, if you will. The value of this is 136. This is a significantly undervalued stock. The stop is 78.10. The stop is 78.10. So just keep that in mind. RT 1.32. Earnings per share, we talked about that, is excellent. RS is 1.37. That's a great number. GRT is 32. Forecasted earnings looks excellent. CI is 1.47. And this is what you would expect to see with the power of the VectorVest CI. That's what I would expect to see. This is beautiful to me. You see the left to right, beautiful upward trending graph here. The stock goes from 10 to 16. It's a lower price stock, so therefore I'm going to call this a little bit more aggressive and speculative. The stock is currently valued at $16. The stop price is 14. RT is above 1.32. Earnings per share is great at 1.99. RS 1.17. GRT is 40. There we go. There we go. And CI is 1.57, an excellent number. So we talked about when a stock, this might be the best example we've seen so far, where the stock gaps away and comes back down, gaps away, comes back down, gaps away, comes back down. Now this is not good, because during this period, we're no longer gapping away, but here's the thing. We become a sell because the price actually dropped below the stop line. Okay? If someone said to me, Thad, this is really gapped away, RT is at 1.73, I'm going to tighten my trailing stop. I don't see where that's a bad self-conversation. I don't see where that's a bad self-conversation. Okay, now that would be true of swing traders or day traders. The long-term investor would just keep their stop in place, or maybe take some shares off the position and take some profit. So yeah, this is a great investment. This isn't anything personal. The gold and silver space is in a little bit of a sell-off. This is a leverage 2x play on Google. Again, I love leverage ETFs. So because it's leveraged, I strongly encourage people to understand what that means. Look at a stock analysis report so you understand the risk of what this means. It's 2x basically, not 3x, but 2x. So, this investment right here, we got the sell again, just like every other stock. This thing goes from 30 to 70. I mean, that's just fantastic. It would be just a beautiful elongated buy period here. it's hard not to, these are a Mag 7 stock here. It's just hard not to want to be in this space. Okay, RT is when, now here's the thing. Sell, hold to buy. There's my setup. RT crosses above 1. Stock pops above. You're in at 31. Okay, so this is how you could use the system to increase confidence and consistency. You're following the VectorVest system. Again, these are mathematical equations that have been in existence for over 30 years. Okay, you're using these powerful tools to continue to make money. Rocks, we have in Unisearch specific watch list that are leveraged and non-leveraged. And if you go to the viewers tab, maybe we'll show you where you could find those if I have time, but let's try to power through these stocks. But we cover leveraged and non-leveraged ETFs in the software. Okay. This is very interesting here. This is, to me, a dangerous slope. I would not buy this stock, and I wouldn't have it in my watch list. If you're an RV, RS, and CI person, you want your stocks to appear like a ruler stock from left to right. This stock is, as evidenced by the S up there, that's the predominant color. So this stock, because it's a sell rating, majority of the time is not only downward trending, but you're going to find RT is below 1 too. So now the question you might be asking yourself is, now that's gone from a sell, hold to a buy, is this provocative? And the answer is, for a speculative investor, maybe. Okay. But the value on this stock is overvalued. We got a high RT on this. How are earnings? How are earnings? They're barely making money. Okay, they're making 2 cents. Relative safety is actually pretty good at 0.74. Okay, GRT is excellent at 37, and CI is below 1. So when CI is below 1, this is essentially what I expect to see: inconsistency of price action, speculation. You really, to me, this just makes things more difficult when you buy stocks like this. Okay, but here's the thing: you did double your money here, so the speculative class, it did pay off for you. Okay, now this one, this is an interesting story. Lower interest rates, and does anyone know what's happening next week? If you know what's happening next week, please share it in the room. What's happening next week? I'll give you a hint. Powell. Interest rates. Thanks, Bill. Possibly a rate cut. A rate cut may be suggested. Historically, the beneficiary of falling interest rates is small cap stocks. It is what it is. Here is TNA, which is bullish on small cap stocks. It is triple leveraged. Sell, hold to buy. Here it is. Picking this up at 27. RT crossing above 1. There's your run from 30 basically to 50. That's how you do it. So what happens next week? Time will tell. I would add TNA to the watch list, and I would wait to see what Powell says. All right, let's take a look at the next one. This is very yo-yo-y. It's a foreign bank. RT is very consistent, goes from high point to below 1 to above 1, below 1, above 1. What you have is volatility. If you want to make an argument, you could swing trade this stock. Okay. I just think this is too much work here. It's just too much work. Okay. I just think it's too much work. This, to me, is like, do I want to go to the gym after work today and run 10 miles? No, the answer is no, by the way. All right, so pretty much the value and the price are the same. The stop line is 1450. RT is 1.5. Certainly, that's a great number. Okay, by the way, you notice when this is at the high point, the stock is ready to buy. This kind of starts to go sideways. What's RT doing? What's RT doing? To me, that's where you have to be careful. And there's your hold. Does everybody see that? If you see it in the room, type in VV Nation. So that's the power of RT. And then what happens? It hits 1.17. It starts to do what? It rises again. It goes from a hold to a buy. Again, a new buy rating at VectorVest is incredibly powerful. There are 4 specific parts for a stock to be a buy rating. Thank you, guys. What's the most important thing to me? The stock has to be rising in price. I don't think there's any other Wall Street firm that incorporates price action as part of its buy recommendation. In other words, to go from a hold to a buy, what do I know? Stock price, by definition, by mathematical equation that Dr. Delito has created, has to be what? Going higher in price. That's what a buy recommendation means. That's very simple. So feel very comfortable when a stock goes from a hold to a buy. What also helps, it was a very brief duration hold. Values 1446. Stop line 1450. Earnings per share 0.75. They are making money. RS is 0.83. GRT 0.25. Excuse me. CI 0.78. Foreign banks. Foreign banks. It's hard enough to understand banks in America. You're going to go with a foreign bank. I would add it to my watch list and allow my confidence to grow by studying this stock to see if it's worth my time. But frankly, based upon the buy, hold, sell recommendation, it's going to be very challenging. To me, this is a sideways moving stock. This is going to cause you frustration. All right. This is a nice change. Sell and hold. Those are the only 2 colors I see. Sell and hold. No buy here. Why? Look at the earnings per share. The earnings per share are downward trending. VectorVest does not advocate buying stocks that are losing money. This is losing 58 cents a share. The value, not only are they losing money, right? Not only are they losing money, but the value is 0.93. This is a $7.47 stock. This space is very difficult and very volatile. It's a biomedical, these pharmaceuticals, biotechs, it's just a tough space. It's just a tough space. If you get lucky and they cure a cancer, you're going to make a lot of money here. That's the problem. Okay? So, to me, it's channeling sideways. I just think with the GRT at -9, a bad CI number, negative earnings, there's just too many negatives. If we were to look at a stock analysis report, you would see a lot of red here. Again, if there's a lot of red in a stock analysis report, I just skip right by it. Now, this is very interesting to me. A closed-end mutual fund. Whew. I love closed-end mutual funds. Most mutual fund people buy are what's called open-end mutual funds. I'm not going to really get into all of this, but closed-end means there's a specified number of shares, and that's it. Okay? From left to right, $9 to $18. Sell, hold, to buy all the way to the left is great. The predominant color on this is a buy. I want to do something on this. I'm just very captivated. I'm going to left click on add parameter. I'm going to go to dividend analysis. It's been my personal experience working in the mutual fund industry for a long period of time. Closed-end funds sometimes will pay out a dividend yield. This is not one of those funds. Closed-end funds. The reason why I like this space is they usually pay a high dividend yield. Okay. I'm going to, by the way, all of these, if it's got a check in the box, it's being represented on the graph. just so you know, for the new people in the room. If I left click on GRT, it's not going to work here. It's going to be added to the room. I'm going to right click on this, remove the item. Okay. Let's see how we're doing for time. That's it. That's it. I'm sorry, folks. That's it. I can't do any more stocks here. But before I go, I want to go to one area very quickly. Well, I don't think we're going to have time. We'll have to follow up next week. So ETFs, just to answer one of your questions, there's the leverage right there. Left click on that. It will show you that. That's it for the power hour. It's 3:05. It went over by a little bit. This is a great place to go into VectorVest and find really excellent stocks. Okay. I hope you all had fun. Thank you. Those are all great stocks. I appreciate your participation. I look forward to hearing and helping you next Thursday. It's been my pleasure. Thank you for your time here at VectorVest this afternoon. Happy Friday. Get those lists ready for Monday, and let's have some follow through. Thank you.